Coming to the net is one of the best tactics you can use, but most people don't come to the net for two main reasons. Number one, they're not confident in their volleys, and number two, they're not confident where they should be or what they should be doing. So today, I'm going to give you one simple concept to cover the net more effectively so you can win more points at the net. So the first thing I want to do is solidify to you how important and how effective it is to come to the net. Craig O'Shaughnessy has done an excellent job collecting the data, and he has shown that from girls 12s all the way to men's Division I, on average, you win at least 56% of the points when you come to the net, if not significantly more. And just for context, Novak Djokovic won 55% of all the points he played last year, and he won 3 slams and lost in the finals of the 4th. So if you have a tactic that's winning 56% of the points, that's an incredible tactic. Another element of how effective this is because, like I mentioned earlier, most people don't have confidence in their volleys, and they don't even know what to cover at the net, and they still win 56% of the points. So think about how effective you can be once you watch this video and know where you should be covering and when. The first thing we're going to do is watch a point from this year's United Cup. I've watched a lot of their full matches online, and there's so much to learn, so go check those matches out if you want to watch more tennis and improve. This is a point from the Zverev and Mannarino match, and I just want you to watch Zverev's approach and how he covers the net on this point. There's a couple great things I want you to pay attention to. The first and most important thing is his positioning. So when we freeze this video, you can see Mannarino has the down the line and the cross-court angle options for his pass. And so Zverev's job is to get in the middle of these two options, which he does absolutely beautifully. A lot of people have been taught to follow your approach, and this is somewhat true. But you can see that as you get farther from the net, the center of those two passing shots is actually in the middle of the court. The second thing Zverev does a great job with is how close he gets to the net. Because he hit a slice approach, he had time to get about 1, maybe 2 steps inside the service line. This puts him close enough to the net where he can cut off the angles and cover almost the entire singles court. But he's also not so close that he can be easily lobbed. Some players make the mistake of closing way too tight, which leaves them vulnerable to the lob, or not closing tight enough to where they can't cover the passing shot options and can't put the volley away even when they get the opportunity. The last thing I want you to pay attention to with Zverev is his balance. His head is centered right between his legs, and he's not leaning in any direction. He trusts his positioning and refuses to guess or cheat with his body. One thing I see players doing all the time is they lean one way, and ironically, it's usually the wrong way. This prevents them from exploding quickly to the pass. So when we watch this full speed one more time, you can see how smoothly he gets into perfect position and then uses his balance to pick off a really quality pass from Mannarino. So now that we understand how to stand in the middle of approach shots, let's take a look at Mannarino on the very next point as he comes to the net. He gets stretched on a very average cross-court passing shot from Zverev. And when we play it back, we can see that he doesn't quite get into good net coverage position. He's not in the middle of the 2 passing shot options, and he gets exposed. Part of the reason is he had his approach from so close to the singles line, so he didn't have enough time to get all the way back into the court. So what should he have done? You guessed it, slice approach. That would have given him enough time to get in good volleying position and put more pressure on the Zverev pass. Let's take another look at a strong example from Katie Boulter. She splits the difference on this nice approach and does a great job of not closing the net too closely. And then when she gets back up for the swing volley, you can see she's a little deeper and a little more centered since Pegula is passing from a little closer to the center of the court. Hopefully this gives you a little better idea of how you should be covering the net. You always want to anticipate the 2 extreme options that your opponent has to pass and then try to center yourself between those 2. Once you learn to master this concept, I think you'll find you'll get to more balls, you'll be able to be more offensive with your volleys, and you might even force some more passing shot errors because your positioning is so good. If you got value from this video, I'd love if you could like and subscribe to the channel and share with any of your friends who need to cover the net more efficiently.